Hello and welcome. Trevor from Bookmanager here, and today I'm going over the brand new emailed gift cards function within Bookmanager. Yes, at long last, we have a dedicated process to handle emailed gift cards on your web store. So, for the longest time, the process has been very manual, very smoke and mirrors. Customers can purchase emailed gift cards if you do set them up on your web store. But again, the process was smoke and mirrors. The store had to generate a gift card number manually on the fly within the point of sale. They then had to attach that to a document to be emailed to the customer, or they would put it in the body of an email or a template they created. And the customer themselves, when they were purchasing the emailed gift card, there was no dedicated infrastructure for it. So the site would ask them, do you want to pick this up or have it shipped? Both choices don't make sense if all they're buying is an emailed gift card, if it's a digital good meant to be emailed. Plus, the actual process of adding a digital gift card, emailed gift card to the cart did not ask for or make mandatory a recipient's email address. So the whole thing again was kind of bolted together as a stopgap until we created a proper system to much more automate and streamline the process. And we've done just that. What we have landed on is very slick. Once you get it set up, there is very little staff management or oversight. Staff don't really have to do anything beyond just processing a sale. So if you know how to process a regular online order, then that is all the training your staff needs once set up to deliver a emailed gift card. A few things right off the bat before we jump into the setup, and we do have a help center documentation up and running for you, so you can go ahead and check this out if you need these instructions more written out. There's a little more details than what I'm going to go over today, but I'm going to blast through most of this so you get a general idea, but refer to the help center if you want all the nitty gritty. I just want to go through a few points to be aware of. So point number one is you cannot do this process on behalf of the customer, at least from your biz site or from Bookmanager. Essentially, the emailed gift card needs to originate from the consumer web store in order for our system to recognize it and generate a number. So if a customer phones you or is in person and says, I would like to purchase an emailed gift card, digital gift card for so-and-so, what you have to do is either guide them to your web store to do the process on their own, or you can log into your consumer web store as a customer. So you can create, your own personal account or set up an internal staff account to use for these sorts of things for testing. But you can essentially submit the order from your web store to get the process going on your customer's behalf. The next point to note is that customers do not have to choose pick up or ship with the new system. If they only have an emailed gift card or emailed gift cards in their cart, they will be presented with one and only checkout option. It'll just be called checkout, and they won't be asked for pickup or shipping details or anything like that. So it makes that process a lot more clear. The next thing is that cards are not immediately emailed after the customer checks out on your site. So the instant they hit submit their order on your consumer web store, they or the recipient don't get the emailed gift card code that instant, simply because the store needs to first verify the payment. Once a transaction has been finalized in the Bookmanager point of sale, then an emailed gift card will be sent off to the customer, but not until that time. Next point is both the purchaser and the recipient are sent emails. Once you've processed the order, the gift card number is essentially sent off. Both the purchaser will get a confirmation email that the purchased emailed gift card has been delivered to the recipient, and the recipient will get an email with, of course, the code. The purchaser does not get the code. That's just a safety measure so that you don't have multiple people with the same gift card code. Only the recipient gets that code with a loaded balance. Next point, the voiding or editing of a finalized current transaction after a 2-minute window, and I'll get to this 2-minute window in a minute, that will send off the purchaser and the recipient a void email notice. Our system will automatically send the purchaser and the recipient an email that says, this gift card, which was previously loaded, now has no balance. It's been voided. All right, emailed gift card barcodes can only be scanned off of paper for the vast majority of you, not your screen. So you will see I've got a little preview of the email that a customer receives when their loaded balance, and it will contain some handy stuff. It'll have the written out gift card number, but it will have a barcode as well. This barcode is only useful for printed off emailed gift cards. So you can't scan this off the screen. If someone comes in store with their device and gives you their phone and says, here's the thing, you'll have to manually type in this GC number into your system and you won't be able to scan it. That is unless you have a 2D image-based scanner, which we don't normally recommend or sell because they're usually 3 times more expensive than regular single dimension 1D single line laser scanners. That's like the Voyager and the Eclipse that we sell. A lot of symbol scanners and Zebra brand scanners. Those are also all single line laser based scanners. Again, they're cheaper, they are faster than image based scanners, and they're more robust. So image scanners are great if you're doing event ticketing where you are doing the majority of your scanning off of a screen. But the way those things work is they actually take a picture of the barcode, then run it through a processor to figure out the barcode, and then they enter it in. So you don't get the rapid pull that trigger as fast as you can scannability that you do with a laser scanner. Plus the cameras inside them are a little more delicate than the laser modules. So if you drop those image scanners, they typically break a little bit easier. So just keep that in mind. You can't scan off your screen. This barcode is mainly for if this was printed. The new system also means that you will no longer need to use the GC plus enter function within the point of sale to generate a gift card number on the fly. If you had set up our kind of in-between method of selling emailed gift cards on your site, then you likely have been using the GC plus enter function. That will not be needed in this because this new process, your web store will actually generate a unique gift card number at the time of checkout, and that will get brought in with the online order. So your staff do not need to generate this number at the time of processing the sale. It's already going to be in there. The purchase quantity field on the consumer site is going to be fixed at 1 for emailed gift cards. This is where when you add an emailed gift card to your cart, either at the gift card page or in the checkout, the quantity is stuck at 1, and this is to avoid the complex user interface we'd have to develop to allow a customer to increase the quantity by 1. Say, oh, we're going to bump this emailed gift card up to 2, and then all the stuff that would be required to add more recipient and messaging fields and how to handle all that delivery. Instead, if a customer wants to buy more than 1 emailed gift card, they don't have to do it in 2 different transactions. They just have to add one after the other. So after they've added 1 emailed gift card, then they can just use this option to add another one. And you'll notice that when you're in your cart, you can't actually increase quantity or decrease it when you're in the cart. You can just remove that line item. The last 2 points are must-haves. So these are more setup points. You must have remote gift card balance tracking enabled to make this feature work. So if I bring up our system right now, and let's just have a quick look at our setup and our gift card setup here. Option U here under the Alt S setup, Option U, gift card mode must be an R for remote. So if you are using just the local database to store your gift card balances and you use our gift card system or have gift cards with us, this new feature will not work with it. Hopefully that's kind of obvious that in order for this to work, since we're doing digitally generated gift card numbers from the server, from the website, we have to be able to add that to an online database. If you have this turned off to local mode, it's not going to work properly. Some people have turned this off because they don't want to incur the tracking fees for us to store their gift card balances. But if you want to use this, you've got to turn that on. So make sure this is set to R. The next setting that you must have is a live sync connection with your consumer web store and your biz site. So that's under the option V for web store option here. But you must have these 2 options set to yes. Again, most stores do have this set to yes, have real-time updates enabled to their web store, but a few of you have turned this off due to issues. So if you do want to use emailed gift cards, you absolutely have to have this. It just won't work at all. If you have this turned off, then essentially the customer will never receive an emailed gift card. You could have these turned off, set to no, and the option could be set up and enabled on your consumer site. But when then customers check out and you process that online order, the recipient will never get an email with an emailed gift card number. Make sure this is set to yes. If you have it set to no right now, or there's reasons why, we'll have to investigate, but those are non-negotiable. It's just the way the system is built and has to work. With that all out of the way, with the kind of our disclaimer points and things to be aware of before you even jump in, I can get into the setup and the overall checkout of this new feature. So we're going to do the setup on the Biz site. This is pretty much all initiated from the Biz site. Your version of Bookmanager doesn't even really need to be on the latest. I would recommend getting an update to be on the latest version. There is a small display, not glitch, but nuance in the point of sale if you aren't on the latest version. The system will still work perfectly fine, but you may have a small, again, nuance on the screen that could be slightly confusing to some. We're going to start this off on the Biz site. So if you go to your biz.bookmanager.com site here, and then you're going to go to the settings and gift cards area. And then within here, you'll now notice that there's two tabs. Before it was just physical gift cards, and we've got our complete history of Mosaic Books gift cards here. You'd have all your physical cards here, and you'd also probably at the bottom, if you were doing emailed or digital cards, you had a card added here as well for use in that old system. Well, now we have a new tab here called Emailed Gift Cards, which you can click on to set this up. And the very first setting here is the label that you want to use for your emailed gift card. This is kind of a subjective thing. So this is where we've given you the ability to change the name and what is displayed in the email. So if we go back to the email here, when it says, "Lucky you, Jimbo has sent you an emailed gift card," the word emailed gift card, and down here, emailed gift card code. If you would prefer to use a different term like digital gift card, e-card, e-code, gift code, whatever you want, just type that right here. This page here saves automatically as you make changes. So you simply have to make a change, and then you'll find at the top when you click out of it, it'll go gift card settings updated. Cool. So there's no save button here. The next field, emailed gift card checkout messaging. This is essentially what is shown during checkout to the customer. And this is going to either be shown exclusively or appended to your pickup or shipping messages. So for example, if the customer is just checking out with an emailed gift card or gift cards, they will be displayed this message. We have placed in some boilerplate language that should be relevant to 95% of you. It's basically just telling them that emailed gift card codes will be sent to the recipient's email address. The purchaser will be notified via email once a code has been sent. Emailed gift card codes can be redeemed online, in store, or over the phone. You can, of course, change this based on your own policy. It may take up to 24 hours for emailed gift card codes to be sent. Now, this is the part where you probably just want to adjust to your own store. You want to put in the time frame that it generally takes you to process an online order. So if you were open 7 days a week and you're processing orders every day, then 24 hours is probably a reasonable explanation. Whereas maybe if you're a store that's closed a few days a week and you don't do any online order processing during that time, it could take you 36, 48 hours to process an emailed gift card code. Update this with your maximum elapsed time so that your expectations are managed there for your customers. And then we have also had this little message about if you require a code ASAP, please contact us after checking out so we can prioritize its delivery. Again, if someone checks out and then reads that message about 24 hours and goes, "Oh, but I need this like right away," and it's within your business hours, they could maybe phone you and then the staff could jump on processing it right away to get it delivered ASAP. You can feel free to strip that or change this messaging as much as you want. We can now go into the adding of the card images. So you use the blue add new card image. Even if you had added an emailed gift card to your physical section, you're going to need to re-add that card image or a new image to the emailed gift cards section as well. So use the add new card. It's the similar interface to the physical cards where you're going to have a gift card title. The system's going to auto-generate a placeholder ISBN. This will not be actually used in your Bookmanager software, but just on the web store end of things for a title record, something we can add to the cart before a gift card number, a proper number, is generated. So this GCD, your store's SAN number, and then T0102, whatever it may be, is just an internal placeholder. You can't change it. So it's auto-assigned, auto-generated, don't need to worry about it. The gift card title is what you can specify. You can put in emailed gift card. That's what we've put in for ours. And I'd maybe suggest using whatever label you use above, making that the same as the gift card title. You'll of course need to enable this design for purchasing. So you'll select the slider to turn it on. And then you'll need to upload an image via a file or a URL. And we would recommend those images be 1200 pixels in its largest dimension. So if you've got a standard gift card size, credit card style landscape orientation, then make it 1200 pixels wide by however pixels tall that may end up being. Or if you have a square image, it would be 1200 by 1200. Anyway, the 1200 pixels on its longest dimension will just mean that you've got a high enough resolution image that it'll look nice and sharp on phones and smaller screens. So go ahead and upload an image there. And you can upload multiple gift card images. So you could have various emailed gift card designs. The only place that's going to be seen is on the email right here. So I don't know if you need to have multiple design aesthetics to choose for your customers to choose from, but if you want to, go ahead, you can add more than one. After you've added an emailed gift card here, what I would recommend doing is immediately grabbing the number or numbers of these emailed gift cards, the GCD number, copying it and heading over to Settings, Web Store, and then Shipping. If you do shipping, I should have preempted that. If you do shipping at your store, I would go over to the shipping area here and scroll down to the shipping cost exception list. And we want to add this ISBN. You just have to basically go to this list, put in a comma, and then paste in. And oh, we didn't even have that on ours. Good. But you want to paste it here because what will happen is if a customer is choosing to have an emailed gift card and also physical products, and they choose to ship their order, we don't want to charge them a shipping cost for the emailed gift card delivery. And the only way to do that is to add it to this list and click on Save Changes, and then that is now part of the list. Back to the gift card setup, emailed gift cards. So we've ported these over to the settings area. Now we can go down to the bottom of the setup, which is all about the recipient's email. And this is more just personal preference, aesthetic choices. With the emailed gift card, the recipient's email, at the very top of that, the image that is displayed on order confirmation emails will also be used. So that is actually found under the content branding section of your site. So this image right here that you find right here, it's called the emailed order confirmation header graphic. This is a 500 pixel wide graphic. It can only be a JPEG file right now. This graphic is at the top of every order confirmation, but we're also going to use it within the emailed gift card. You just want to make sure that is updated and uploaded because it's nice to have your store logo or a graphic there. But back in the setup options here, there's an option here to say display the store name. And so what happens if your graphic or your logo you want to use doesn't actually have your store name written out? Well, then you can click on this option so that, and I'll click on this preview email button so that your store's name is actually written below it. In this case, it's redundant for us. Our logo is our name. So when I go here and I turn this option off and then click on preview email here, you'll see that that name is not displayed anymore. And that's the way I'd rather have it. So that's just a personal preference depending on your logo. Or if you don't have a logo to upload, this is where you'd want to enable this so that at least it says your store name in plain text right there. Round corners is just an option to add rounding to the corners of your graphic. So if I uncheck this and go back, I got square corners on my graphic. And if I want rounded corners, I click on that and it gives out rounded corners. This next option, enable link to check balance online. This is only available or should only be enabled if you are using our default gift card menu. So on your site, if you have a menu called gift cards and you can see the URL looks like this, your site domain /gift-cards. If you've got that default menu enabled, and that you also have the balance checker placed somewhere on your gift card page, then you can enable this option. Because what this will do is at the bottom of the emailed gift card, it's going to give this, click here to check your balance online, or use your phone's camera to scan the QR code below to go to the online balance checker. And this QR code will automatically be generated for your website's domain name /gift-cards. So if you don't have that default page in use, you've got it named differently, or you don't have the balance checker, you don't want to basically lead customers to a dead link or to a page that doesn't have the balance checker, if that makes sense. If you don't have those things, just uncheck this so that the bottom of the email is just straight up the code and then giving some basic instructions on how to redeem. The QR code is really, again, used just for a printed off version of this. So if someone prints off a physical copy of this emailed gift card code and then goes, wait, I think I've used it before, what was the balance? They can just take a picture of this QR code and it will bring them to your site into the balance checker. So it's easy for them to do that. Of course, if they have the actual email, they can just click the link and that brings them to the same place. They don't need to do anything with their QR code here. The last option with this setup is the disclaimer text. So like physical gift cards, you definitely need to have a disclaimer on it. This boilerplate text that we're providing is once again pertinent to probably 98% of stores, but go ahead, read it over and change it to suit your store and your laws. For example, like some gift cards are actually legally allowed to be expired in some US states. In Canada, they cannot expire. So we just say this card does not expire. Feel free to change that wording up. And that disclaimer text is displayed at the very bottom of the emailed gift card right here. After you have added an image to this and you have the gift card, emailed gift card image placed, which is just simply done by making sure that enable this design for purchasing. Once that's clicked on, the system is activated. It's ready to go on your consumer web store. You don't have to do anything else. If you were using the physical gift cards before to sell emailed gift cards, that's where you'd go down here and disable, make these ones inactive so you don't have two confusing options at your site. You may also want to check your gift card blurb on your consumer site. So oftentimes we place a blurb that is explaining the purchasing flow of emailed gift cards or gift cards in general. So just make sure that this blurb here on your consumer site is reflecting how the new system works. And what I've done here is I've just taken straight up the text from here, from this emailed gift card checkout message, and I just plopped it here. It explains everything. On the consumer site, I'll show you quickly how to purchase one and how to sell it and what the customer gets. It's all pretty cool. If I scroll down, the option will just show up at the very end. And when I click on add to cart for it, what you'll notice here is, again, the quantity is stuck at 1, so I can't increase it or decrease it. I can, of course, change the amount, so I can throw in $25 here. I can't uncheck personalize here. It's forced on because we absolutely need a to email address. And that's the only mandatory field. A customer doesn't have to address this to someone specifically, have a from or even a message. They just have to have the recipient's email. So I'm just going to throw in myself here. And then I will say we'll put in Susan. I'll pretend my name's Susan. From Jim, we'll just give some different names so you can get an idea of how this whole thing works. And then a message, you are too sweet. Great. So you get a 100-character message here. So once I've gone add to cart, I get a little pop-up. And this is where, again, if you want to add a second emailed gift card, this is where you choose add more cards, and then you go through the process again and again. I'm going to now just go straight to cart and show you the most basic checkout, which is when you only have an emailed gift card or gift cards in your cart, you just get a checkout button. There's no pickup, there's no ship. It's really clean. You just hit checkout. You put in the usual stuff. It's got your message right here. There's that message that we did in the settings. The emailed gift card codes will be sent to the recipient's email address. There it is. In lieu of your regular checkout message, we'll go save and continue. I can choose the usual payment options. Of course, pay at pickup is disabled. Even if you have that enabled on your site, you can't do a pay at pickup for emailed gift cards. Your custom checkout, your contact me for payment, or the custom checkout tender will display as well as the other ones. And I'm just going to choose invoice me, I'm a school, so I don't have to enter my details. I'll submit this order. You'll notice that the confirmation page has some different text to it. So right here, it says you'll receive a confirmation email within a few minutes with your order details. This will not contain a gift card redemption code and is just a confirmation that we received your order. So trying to be very clear there. And then it has a section about when your recipients will receive their gift card codes once we have confirmed payment and processed your order within business hours. Again, laying out those expectations. Down here, you do get some details about the emailed gift card. You get the from, the to, who it's being sent to, and the message. You also get the delivery here, says by email. It's all very clear. In the Bookmanager software, I'm just going to open up Mosaic and jump over to the point of sale. Go and check out our online orders here. I'm just going to mark this as mine so no one else touches it right now. This looks like a standard online order. The only difference, again, if you get on the latest version, is it'll say email up here instead of something else. Under here, you'll notice the big difference is that there's an actual GC number generated and ready to go. This is a valid gift card number. This is what the customer will get in the end, the recipient. And if we actually just jump over quickly to my email right here, and I'm just going to bring this over here. And if I go down and look at my order that I got, hi Trevor, your order has been submitted. You'll notice that we've got the usual blurb here that they saw on the order confirmation. When will your recipients receive their gift card codes? But under the ISBN field for the product, it's not showing again the number yet because we haven't verified payment. We don't want to load it. Plus, this is the purchaser's email, not the recipient's. So we want to keep that number hidden and only shown to the recipient. So it says to be issued. To process this and get it all going, we just need to edit it like a normal online order. If it was a prepaid gift card, which it usually would be, the great thing is the system recognizes this as a gift card, so the status of it won't be set as a prepay status. It'll get ignored, so you won't have to use the B for back order to toggle the prepay status, or you won't go through tendering and have that pop up that says, was the customer leaving with this? It avoids all that even if they prepaid for it, so that's kind of nice. You don't need to use the GC enter function to generate a number here. You don't need to put in a balance. It comes right from the site. It says no PIN, but there's actually a PIN attached to this in the back end, so don't worry about that. And the gift card balance right now is 0 because we haven't actually processed and finalized this order. So all we really have to do is go right to tendering and just process it. So I'm just going to say cash, and then I'll delete this afterwards. I'm going to do a page up because I don't need a receipt. And we also don't need to send a point of sale notification for this because the customer and the purchaser, like the purchaser and the recipient, are both going to get emails once this process is in swing. You don't need to actually send them a POS notice. Now that I've finalized this transaction, the recipient and the customer have not, or purchaser have not yet got an emailed gift card code. And we've done this on purpose. We've given you a 2-minute window to go ahead and edit this or void it before a card is sent. And this is in case you get a little trigger happy and accidentally page up or page down on the wrong tendering type. The recipient and the purchaser doesn't get this deluge of emails saying like, here's an emailed gift card. Oh, it's been voided. Oh, it's been reissued again, as you try to correct a mistake you just made right away on the order. We give you this 2-minute period of time to make changes. So you can edit this, you can delete it, you can do what you want, and your customer will be none the wiser, the recipient will be none the wiser. But after 2 minutes, then the emails will be automatically sent to the purchaser and the recipient. And after that time, then if you make an edit or delete this transaction, both the purchaser and the recipient will receive a void email, an email that will say the gift card number 30217366285 has been voided. This was likely due to a payment processing issue. We may be in contact with you shortly to sort this out. We give you an example of this on the Help Center. I think I've got some text way down here. There it is. Hello, an emailed gift card that was previously sent to this email address has been voided due to a transaction processing error. So this is example text of what they will get. It's a basic email. Back into the system here. It's been 2 minutes, so I can bring up my email now. And I should have, if I check my email, and I think I did, Trevor at, let me wait. There it is. Cool. Okay, it just took a second to come in my system. So since I'm both the purchaser and the recipient, I can see right here that I got both emails, but usually you wouldn't have 2 emails. The purchaser gets this one, your emailed gift card has been sent to Trevor@bookmanager.com. That's the subject line. And then it says your emailed gift card has been sent to this. If they did not receive an email, they can check their junk spam folder for emails from orders@mosaicbooks.ca. Just like our regular online orders, all those emails originate from noreply@bookmanager.com with a reply to ordering one. So we can't get around this. This is just the nature of these auto-generated things coming from our server. But just know if they do hit reply, it will reply to your store's email address, and it's got your name attached to it as well. And there's no resend method for for the purchaser. So if there is a problem sending this with the recipient receiving it, it's not in their junk folder. It'll just be up to them to contact the purchaser, to contact the store after the recipient maybe notifies you. We may be looking into a system to detect email server bounce backs. So if we try to deliver their message and then we get a bounce back code, we're looking into forwarding that onto the store so you can maybe preemptively try to troubleshoot this. That's something that isn't available right now, but will hopefully be soon enough. Now, the actual recipient gets an email too, and the subject line says, Jim has sent you an emailed gift card. It's got the store logo. The email is styled just like our preview shows, so it looks nice and professional. It's got your store logo with a bunch of links. If I click on this, it brings to your web store. You can't edit this little lucky you yet. You're stuck with my wording for now. Maybe we'll let you change it. You get a picture of the card, you get their message, and here you get the balance in large. You get a barcode, the gift card number, the PIN. This is all plain text so that if your email program or the recipient's email program doesn't allow HTML or strips images or this and that, they will at least still get all the text. The most important part is this and this. What balances it and what's the number itself. Plus we get some basic instructions. Type the above GC number into the gift card redemption area during checkout, and then your disclaimer, contact information, all that jazz. And just a note on email clients, we have little control over the actual final aesthetic of how emails are rendered. Everybody does it a little bit differently. I'm using Thunderbird, and the email is coded to use Poppins, the default font on the web store, but then its fallback is Trebuchet. If you're a Google user, Google forces emails to be rendered in Roboto. If you're an Apple user, it may use Poppins, but it also may fall back to one of their fonts as well. If you're using Outlook, often does a bunch of crazy stuff, but it will probably render the email in either like Arial or Trebuchet. Again, we try our best to control the font and the rendering of this, but it's really up to the platform the customer is using, the recipient is using, and what settings they have configured for it as well. But most of this stuff is basic text and has been coded with this in mind to be as friendly as possible. Just know that you may get slight aesthetic variances from user to user. And that is basically it. At this point, the email has been sent. Both the purchaser and the recipient have been notified. The store has, of course, processed the online order. The card has a balance. It's ready to go. So if I take this card and I go to our site right now and I do a balance checker on this card number here, so you can see the balance is loaded here. It's all good to go at this point. Once you've configured all the settings, then that's it. You just sit back, let customers purchase, essentially just process them like normal online orders, and you'll be good to go. Just one point of note, if I go ahead and edit this transaction, delete it, or while I'm actually processing it, if I accidentally remove this number here, your best bet is to go to your previous orders and restore it from the site instead of trying to recreate it, because our server is looking for this exact number attached to that online order in order to generate the email to the customer. So again, when in doubt, if you've modified this, you could maybe try to figure out what the number was again or recreate it. But if you're off by any sort of detail, the recipient and the purchaser will not get their emails. So it's much better just to go back to the site, go to your biz site, go to reports, go to previous orders, find the emailed gift card. So we get into this area here, find the previous order. So you'll see that there's a new action type. It says electronic. Here's the order. If I click on the reference number, you'll find that again, it says emailed gift card and it says delivery by email. So if you need to confirm that, use the resend button to get back into the system to fix it. It's just going to smooth things out and prevent any awkward scenarios where you think you've processed an emailed gift card order and it's been sent off, but it never was actually sent to the purchaser and recipient. One final area of management for emailed gift cards is a brand new biz menu that we've added so that you can see just your emailed gift cards, but this menu also contains 2 unique actions that you may need very occasionally. First off, though, you get to manage all of your emailed gift cards at a glance. You can set a date range here to zero in on a period. You can also search for a specific email gift card by a customer name, email address, online order number, should something have gone missing in your system. Though you do get that email confirmation email that the store gets, you also have the F3 document in Bookmanager. So things would probably have to go very sideways for you to be at the point where you need to come here to recover it. Plus you have your good old previous orders area to manage this. This new area here, I should mention, is found under the reports, and we haven't added it yet because this feature hasn't been released. You will find a new menu under here called emailed gift cards or manage email gift cards. You also get a status, an overall status of all of your email gift cards within the period, the date range period you've selected. So I can find out that I've issued so many in this period. This is how many emails have been sent. These are the unsent emails. By emails, we are referring to the codes themselves, the emailed gift card code. Emailed gift cards are sorted newest to oldest. You get a status column just giving you at a glance what the status of this emailed gift card order is. So confirmation sent means that the code has been sent to the recipient and that the purchaser has also been notified that a code has been sent to the recipient. You also get void statuses down here, and then any order that is yet to be processed in your system will say pending payment. You get the amount, a current balance. So if the card has been loaded, that will be filled in. Otherwise, it's blank for 0 or no balance. You also get the code itself that the site generated in case you need to restore that or reference it for whatever reason. You get a link to the online order itself. So if I click on this, I'm going to get the online order that pops up, the original document. You get the purchaser email address, and we're on to our first unique action. This is only available here, but if the purchaser had made a typo, a mistake in the recipient's email address, and you get a bounce back email, or you just can see it right off the bat, oh, Diana@bookmanager.co, like it's missing the com, or they made a typo like .jamali instead of Gmail or something like that, and you can just tell right off the bat, oh, this is a bad email address. You can actually come here and click on recipient email, and you can edit it right here and change it, and then use the blue button resend code to resend them a emailed gift card code. Get the recipient and the purchaser their original emails resent. So this shouldn't be needed all that often, but it's there. It did come up in our previous workaround system. For the time we've been doing kind of the hack together emailed gift cards, it occasionally came up where the recipient's email was wrong. And so we knew that we had to build in a way to correct that. If you ever need to reference the original email, though, that say you went and updated this email address and you made a mistake and the original email address was in fact the correct one, the View Details button here will show you the original unaltered email address. So if you change it here, it's not going to change under the View Details. Lastly, beyond the Resend Code action button, which will only be lit up if the balance hasn't been voided and if the transaction has been processed within Bookmanager, that's the only time you're going to get this button. But we also have a red email void or resend void button. This will be very rarely used. It's for the very corner case scenario where you need to send the void email and only the void email after the fact. This would be for that instance where you give a refund on gift cards. Most stores don't give refunds on gift cards, but if you happen to do a refund on a gift card days after the original card was loaded, after the transaction in Bookmanager was finalized, you can't delete or edit that original transaction because it's historical. You would need to create a new transaction to zero out that gift card. Our system can't know whether that zeroing out of a gift card was done because the card was legitimately used to buy products, or if it was because the balance is now being put back into your account, like you're discounting it or you're tendering it to internal. You're using some method to essentially zero out that card. Our system can't know that. So in that case, when you make that balance zero days later in the system, a void email is not going to be sent to the purchaser and the recipient. At that point, you may be having a conversation with the purchaser anyway, and they would be relaying this info to the recipient, but you can send them that void email from here after the balance is zero. So only if the balance is zero do you get access to this button, and then it's going to give you a bit of a description of like, you should only be using this for this kind of rare case, because pressing this button, all it does is send the email. It does nothing else. It does not go into the point of sale or send a transaction to the point of sale to void it, it doesn't void or zero out the balance. So say if you have a balance here of $10 or whatever, it won't zero that out. You won't, again, be able to actually send a void email if there is a balance. But otherwise, you should very rarely, if ever, need that. And you may want to talk to us first about the best course of action in that case. But there you go. You've got some extra tools that you may need here. And then also from a management point of view, you may find this area a little bit better just to make sure you didn't miss processing any emailed gift cards. But that's it in a nutshell. I hope you like the new feature. I'm sure there's a few little tweaks and improvements to come down the road. Our store's been using it for a few weeks now, and it's been great. It's definitely going to be great around the holiday season when we seem to get a lot more, and our old process was a bit of a time sink. Have fun. Let us know any of your feedback, anything we've missed, and we'll see you in the next video.